The United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees is a UN agency mandated to aid and protect refugees, forcibly displaced communities and stateless people, and to assist in their voluntary repatriation, local integration or resettlement to a third country. The organization recently launched a scheme called the Refugee and Zakat Fund in Nigeria as part of its global Islamic philanthropy. We'll be joined for greater illumination on this by Khaled Khalifa, who is Senior Advisor and UNHCR representative to the Gulf Cooperation Council countries, and Lanre Odunlami, Assistant Private Sector Partnerships Officer at UNHCR. But before we get our teeth into it, let's pause and get a feel of what UNHCR means to achieve by this project.
On behalf of UNHCR, the UN Refugee Agency, I welcome you all today to today's press briefing to launch UNHCR's Refugee and IDP Zakat Fund for Nigeria.
We are excited to launch the Refugee and IDP Zakat Fund, which is a Zakat compliant collection platform to aid displaced families in Nigeria, while also providing the means for Islamic institutions and Muslims to fulfill their faith-based responsibilities.
If Zakat is given by the Muslims who own Zakat all over the world, nobody on the planet of the earth will live below the poverty line.
We hope that by joining hands with the existing very successful Zakat houses in the country, and also tapping into the resources available with individuals from the Muslim community in the country, we can extend a helping hand to the IDPs.
The crisis of internal displacement in Nigeria has persisted for more than 10 years, and currently 2.9 million people in Nigeria are internally displaced.
The importance of Zakat in alleviating poverty, in assisting the refugees, in coming to the aid of the IDPs cannot be overemphasized.
My message is really, let's come together and let Nigerians help Nigerians. These are your people, these are your brothers and sisters.
Dr. Bati?
Okay, thank you for joining us, Mr. Khalifa and Mr. Odunlami. Mr. Odunlami, let's start with you. Could you tell us more about UNHCR, the UN Refugee Agency? Let's start there.
Okay, thank you for having me. UNHCR is a global organization that is dedicated to saving lives and protecting the rights of refugees and other people who are displaced from their homes as a result of violence, conflict, and persecution. UNHCR is dedicated to ensuring a better life for refugees, IDPs, and stateless people, as well as asylum seekers. It was created in 1950, and since its creation, the organization has faced multiple conflicts in multiple continents by ensuring that we provide immediate humanitarian assistance to the people, such as psychosocial support, provision of education, provision on NFIs, that is non-food items, ensure that the displaced people have shelter on them. We also ensure that we provide healthcare for them. We also ensure that we train them on the livelihood activity that they have chosen, and also ensure that we provide a startup kit for them so that they can live a better life and they can also have a dignified life. But one thing about UNHCR is that, one, we have presence in 135 countries, and 90% of our workforce actually work in the field, because UNHCR is a field-driven organization, because that is where the conflict is. For instance, if you take Nigeria as an example, we have 16 offices, and most of our offices are in the conflict area, talking about Mungono, Bama, Ungala, Damasak, Maduguri, Yobe, and so on. So basically, ours is to ensure that we provide the necessary humanitarian assistance to refugees, IDPs, asylum seekers, as well as stateless people, so that they can live a better life. Thank you.
You do such important work, and we commend you. Now, what is the current refugee and IDP situation in Nigeria, and why is it something we should all be supporting?
Yeah, looking at it globally, as of today, we have close to 80 million displaced people globally. And from these, almost 26 million people are refugees that are actually displaced. And from these 26 million people, you realize that half of them are actually under 18 years. So meaning that half of displaced refugee population are children. And if you look at, come back to Africa, we have over 33 million Africans who are actually displaced. And coming back to Nigeria, in Nigeria presently, you realize that the displacement crisis that is in the Northeast actually started since 2009 and is in its 12th years as of now. And this has actually led to loss of livelihood, created a lot of havoc on people, and also realized that since these displacements have happened up to date, government is still trying to continue its effort. Humanitarian organizations like UNHCR, we're also ensuring that our efforts continue to see that we provide the needed humanitarian assistance to those who are affected by the displacement in the northeastern part. But as at currently, we have 2.9 million people who are displaced in Nigeria. The 2.9 is now referring to the figures from the northeast, the northwest, as well as the north central. So putting all these three regions together, we have 2.9 people that are actually displaced currently in Nigeria. But however, 2.9 is not a small number. It's a huge number, and these people actually face a lot of, they have actually made a lot of terrific journey. Because in between movement from one location to another, you cannot predict what will happen to these people as they move from one location to another. I will give you an example of a woman in the northeastern part. When crisis happened in her community, this woman had to trek to Chad. She trekked for 3 good days with a baby on her back. But when she now realized that the military have actually stepped into the community, into her community, that is after spending some days in Chad, she realized, she was now told that, okay, the community is now settled, she can come back. This woman had to trek back again for another good 3 days to her community. Now, moving barefooted and under a scorching sun, without protection. Fortunately, this woman was able to make it, but sadly, the baby could not survive it.
Oh, so sad. So
you understand? So those are some of the plight of internally displaced people in Nigeria. But UNHCR is trying as much as possible to ensure that the needed humanitarian support are actually provided to such individual and likes. Thank you.
And thank you so much for all the good job you do. Khaled Khalifa, UNHCR, has been engaging in Islamic philanthropy activities. Can you share more about this and why is there a priority? Why is this a priority as regards your organization, Khaled?
First, thank you for having me. As my colleague has indicated, the organization is catering for about 80 million people worldwide between refugees and internally displaced people. If we try to divide that number across the world by ethnicity, you discover that more than 50% of the total come from Muslim countries and Muslim communities. So it became a no-brainer for us to think of Islamic philanthropy tools so that Muslims could assist Muslims, knowing that in Islamic finance there are tools that have been tried and tested for many centuries, like zakat, which is a magnificent, actually, way of social solidarity. We are trying to provide a bridge between the financially able and those who need the assistance. And the organization has proven that this mechanism is working in other parts around the world. We have been implementing zakat programs since 2018. We multiplied the size of the program 5-fold during the period from 2018 until now, and we managed last year alone to assist more than 2.1 million people. Nigeria, for us, is a pioneering country and is a pilot project. We are trying to utilize Islamic philanthropy tools to give Nigerians a chance to help Nigerians. And Islamic philanthropy is not only for Muslims and is not only by Muslims. We are serving everybody, and we are celebrating actually together. Probably this is one of the first years in a while where both Muslims and Christians are celebrating at the same time. We are celebrating Easter and Ramadan. And this is a great chance of solidarity among everybody in the community.
Well, Mr. Khalifa, I wanted you to tell us a little more about the IDP Zakat Fund in Nigeria and why you will say that Muslims in Nigeria should take advantage of this fund to distribute their zakat.
I think the Zakat Fund actually is an opportunity for anybody who would like to pay their zakat in an efficient manner. The fund is free of charge completely. The organization has waived the overheads, the administration fees, so the contributions go to the beneficiaries 100%. And I haven't come across any similar program during my last 25 years in this sector. We have obtained all the required fatwas and religious backup for this program from 10 different religious authorities around the globe. And we tried it in many places, and it is growing by the day, gaining the trust of donors. So from a practical perspective, I think this is a great opportunity for donors to amplify and optimize the way they assist others in a manner that relies on partnership with the United Nations, where UNHCR will cover all the expenses from other sources, and we are hoping to reach as many people in Nigeria as possible.
Thank you, Mr. Khalifa. Now, Mr. Odunlami, this question is for you. How can Nigerians donate to the UNHCR Refugee and IDP Zakat Fund? Nigerians and non-Nigerians can donate by visiting zakat.unhcr.org/ng. That is zakat.unhcr.org/ng. People can as well make online transfer through the Standard Chartered Bank with account name UNHCR Special Account and account number 000-270-6104. I repeat, people can make online transfer to Standard Chartered Bank with account number 000-270-6104. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Odunlami, and thank you also, Khaled Khalifa, for joining us. And we wish you all the best with the IDP Zakat Fund in Nigeria. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you so much.